On today's show,
we discuss the Cavs giving Rodney Hood a chance, Iguodala's injury update, and whether Perk is to blame for Curry's Game 2 explosion.
Trey joins us from Cleveland, where he talked fanny packs with JaVale McGee and nicknames with Donovan Mitchell.
And while out in Cali, Lee asks fans about their own Twitter burner accounts.
It's Tuesday, June 5th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters, presented by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Whether you're joining us live right now on NBA TV, watching later on YouTube, maybe listening to the podcast, doesn't matter. We're happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Mellis.
Happy off day.
To his right, it is the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friends.
Lily. All right. On tonight's show, we will talk to the bearded one, Trey Kirby, live from Cleveland. And Lee's got another streeter piece, and this one's all about Twitter burner accounts. We'll show you that a little bit later. But first, we're in between games here, so let's do a little Is This News? I've rounded up some juicy NBA headlines, not TK this time, and I'm going to throw them at you guys, and we're going to determine whether or not they're actually newsworthy. Not all news is newsworthy. So our first headline comes from Dime Magazine. Oh, Robbie Callan.
Hey, Robbie.
That man once ate 82 nuggets, I think, Chick-fil-A nuggets. He writes, and Dime Magazine writes, the Cavaliers are going to give Rodney Hood a chance in Game 3. Is this news?
Rodney Hood has taken Jordan Clarkson's minutes, probably. The internet has been clamoring for Jordan Clarkson to hit the bench, and Rodney Hood's going to grab his minutes. Jordan Clarkson has been struggling offensively, but I think we're missing the larger point here. They have to worry about defense a little bit more so. I think they have to worry about defensive replacements. And yes, maybe Rodney Hood improves on Jordan Clarkson's 1 of 4 in 8 minutes in Game 2, but they've allowed more than 120 points in 2 straight games.
Right.
So this might sound crazy, but I think Rodney Hood, if he helps them a little bit on the offensive end, might hurt them more defensively than Jordan Clarkson has, because he has actually contributed defensively, and I think we overlooked that because we're just looking at his missed shots.
Yeah.
But he's done a good job of helping out a few times in this series. And again, he played 8 minutes in Game 2, so Rodney Hood, quote-unquote, getting a chance and taking those 8 minutes, it's not a big deal. I think they have to worry more so about a defensive unit to slow down the Warriors, because Rodney Hood or not, they're not going to score 130 points. They're just not going to outscore the Golden State Warriors.
I'm just interested to see how Rodney Hood responds to these minutes, because he's had a little bit of an up and down playoffs. He was on the bench and Ty Lue said get in.
Wait, hold on. When was it up?
Well, what I'm saying
When was
is,
it up?
what I'm saying,
He played meaningful minutes. It felt
He
like
got
one
minutes and
game
then
in
he
the
didn't.
Pacers.
right,
Yeah.
but the big moment came when Ty Lue said to him to come into the game in garbage time, and he refused to
In
go
the
in.
Raptors series,
Yeah, and so then since then he's kind of been in the doghouse a little bit. He's played some garbage minutes in this series, but you want to see now if a guy is actually true to his word when he said he apologised to his teammates and he knows he has to be more professional. And if he gets this opportunity, and yes, the defensive end is important, but if he can knock down a few shots and get his confidence going and maybe just provide some sort of offensive spark for the Cavs, then I think it's worth trying. I just don't think Jordan Clarkson offensively is giving them anything. And I think defensively, it's a bit of a wash. Rodney Hood knows that if he plays defense and he plays hard, he's more likely to get more minutes anyway. If he's a sieve on defense, and he's probably going to sit. But when you're Ty Lue, you're down 0-2, you may as well just roll the dice a little bit here and see what you can get out of it.
It's pretty wild to think, though, going into Game 3 of the NBA Finals, that Rodney Hood is being classified as a savior. Come in and maybe hit some shots. And you say he may take Clarkson's minutes. I think that's definitely fair. He may take some of J.R. Smith's minutes as well. He's playing a lot of minutes, 35 minutes per game, and he's only giving them 7.5 points per game. And we know about the blunder at the end of Game 1, but he's just struggled to shoot the ball. Korver can't even get a shot. And then, Clarkson as well, in the minutes he's got, hasn't shot well either. They're looking for anyone to hit a shot on the wing to help out LeBron, who's going to go for 40+, and Love, who's been pretty good, at least giving you 20, though he gives it back on the other side of the ball. They're just looking for some shooters. I'm with you. Lou at this point's got to say, can anybody hit a shot here, especially in our own barn? And maybe Rodney Hood can.
Well, the bigger story, I think, in the Cavs locker room, even though we're here on an off day talking about Rodney Hood, is just their players playing better at home. They're more so concerned about J.R. Smith stepping up and George Hill stepping up at home, more than they are Rodney Hood coming to save the day. Again, Ty Lue said, your headline, it said, getting a chance, or we're taking a chance.
Yeah.
That's all they're
An
doing.
opportunity is there for Rodney
he's
Hood.
just getting a few minutes. Robbie Callan took a chance, ate some chicken nuggets. He's no Joey Chestnut. But either way, this is not the big story.
Defensively,
I think Jeff Green might need to get some more minutes. I was surprised that
You keep saying Jeff Green, Jeff Green, Jeff Green. I mean, it feels like you're saying it every day here. You believe that this guy can help them out.
I also say it in our Slack channel, so you may be thinking that you're hearing it a lot more than you are.
Maybe that's it.
But his minutes dropped big time from 36 minutes to 20 minutes in Game 2. And I said this earlier, so you're going to say that I say this a lot, but if you were to design a player to play against the Warriors and to be able to switch out on the perimeter, it would be Jeff Green, a 6'9" guy. Rodney Hood is not known for his defense.
Yeah.
Jordan Clarkson not known for his defense. Maybe stop somebody.
We need Jeff Green to be more aggressive offensively, though, as well. He's got the athleticism. He can get his shot off. He can get inside and get those shots going. He just doesn't seem to be as aggressive as he needs to be. But at both ends of the floor, the Cavs just need to be more locked in defensively. And then on offense, they need to be able to give LeBron at least some help in creating offense, scoring baskets. LeBron's finding those guys. He's finding them on the perimeter. They got to knock them down, and Jeff Green's one of the most important guys to do that.
All right, our next headline, it comes from NBA.com. It's got to do with the Warriors. Steve Kerr today. Andre Iguodala likely questionable for Game 3 of the Finals.
Likely questionable.
He has been upgraded to questionable. Is this news?
Well, if he plays, and it feels like he is, right? I mean, you were out there. Doesn't it feel like he's getting closer?
Yeah, it does. It certainly feels like this was an injury that's taken a lot longer for him to recover from than they initially thought.
Yeah.
And Iggy's one of those people who takes excellent care of his body. So you know if he's been out, he's been genuinely hurt. But now they're a couple of games in. He's been working out. Sounds like he's a go. I don't think he starts, though.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. If he's good to go in Game 3, or maybe if even it's Game 4, do you start him if you're Steve Kerr? Do you go back to putting him with the Hamptons 5 there, or do you keep rolling out JaVale McGee in the starting lineup, or maybe back to Looney?
I was really impressed with JaVale in Game 2. I think he's earned the right to start again in Game 3 because I think it worked on their defensive end. I think he
deterred shots inside?
He contested a lot of shots. Yeah, I think he only got credited with one block shot.
That's right.
But I think if you look back at the game, he probably helped distract maybe 3 or 4 others and just contest it again. And then on the offensive end, all he had to do, if you catch the ball and dunk it and throw it down like he did, 6 for 6, you can't ask much more from a guy like JaVale.
JaVale was very impressive. I expect LeBron to be a lot more assertive going at the rim and not missing layups. That was really shocking to see LeBron. Yeah, I think JaVale probably starts, or maybe they go Kevon Looney and JaVale in the backup spot. But if Andre Iguodala is out there, it prevents the Cavs from doubling Steph Curry.
You think so?
When they're out there. Yeah, because you could do that back in 2014, pre-Andre Iguodala, or pre the moving Andre Iguodala into the starting lineup, I should say. Iggy was there, kind of just standing, watching Steph, and then they decided, all right, let's get Iggy on the ball, moving things, and that really kills defenses. I think if you're going to try and double Steph, which has been talked the last couple of days, they're going to just destroy you 4-on-3 afterwards. They're just too good. They're just too good. And Iggy makes that happen. And I know Steve Kerr last round said, Chris Paul in there, yeah, maybe they win that series, but if Andre Iguodala is healthy the entire series, we win in 5. And Steve Kerr was clear about that. That is definitely their best lineup.
And the other part of this, whether or not Iguodala would start is Sean Livingston has been getting more minutes because of the Iguodala injury, and he has come through. This guy has just not missed a shot so far in these finals. I mean, he's perfect right now. So him and McGee there, they're doing a great job of stepping up in Iguodala's place. That all said, they're going to want him to play LeBron. You're right. You got to imagine in Game 3, do or die game here for the Cavs, that LeBron is going to come out super aggressive like he did in Game 1. You would want one of the better defenders in Iguodala on him. I mean, even just to use those fouls and tire him out a little bit, that makes sense. So still waiting to see whether or not Iguodala will play, but he's got to play at some point in this series, even if it is a sweep. If it's not Game 3, Kerr was very, very likely Game 4. All right, final one here. This one's from ESPN. This headline reads, Warriors irked over Kendrick Perkins' incident with Steph Curry. Now, this is back in Game 2, end of the third quarter. Let's just show it to you right now. End of the buzzer here. Crazy heave there from Curry over by the Cavs bench, and well, that happened.
How many seats is Kendrick Perkins taking?
Yeah, he is lounging in the lazy boy over there.
That's the man spread there, isn't it?
For sure.
You see people on the subway doing that.
So words are shared, blah, blah, blah. Nothing really happens, but what do you guys think? Is this news that the Warriors are irked over this?
Well, Kendrick Perkins, this is how he can contribute by getting under people's skin. This is his form of gamesmanship, so I can't fault him. At the same time, the Warriors should be pleased because Steph Curry, he set the single game record for three-pointers made in a finals game with 9, but going into that fourth quarter, before that, he had only hit 4. I think this got him going. This got him
You think
fired
Perkins
up.
stretched out there talking to
Sure.
him?
He only had
got under his skin a little
17 points and 4 threes made going into that fourth quarter. He basically had half his points and more than half of his threes after Kendrick Perkins said, no, you're not sitting next to me on the bus. That ain't happening. And I love the way Steph looked him up and down and said,
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Steph did the same thing with LeBron, remember, too, in Game 1 when they got into it. Like, he's not backing down from anybody.
Yeah, the not news part of this is Warriors irked over Kendrick Perkins incident. The news part is that Perkins is in a suit and not playing, and he's still somehow injected himself into this
That's
game.
what they've got him on the team for, to trying to inject a little bit of that toughness and teaching some
Cass
of the
is
younger
saying
guys.
it completely backfired, though.
Oh, no, it did. It did backfire, but that's what he's there for. You saw in Game 1 as well when he was up and Draymond was mimicking him on the sideline with the pom-pom celebrations, but Kendrick's trying to make himself known.
Do your pom-pom celebrations there again? Okay, yeah. All right.
he's the Dante Jones of this year.
Yeah, I mean, but honestly though, if say like Steph had tweaked his ankle or something like that, there'd be a lot of angry Warriors fans and team right now.
That's fair, but Perk, in his defense, he does not move.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but he's also, oh, come on, the other guy's right beside him.
Like,
Cedi
he's not
Osman.
sticking his foot
Cedi
underneath
Osman
it.
and Jose Calderon are ready
He
to
could've-
brace for Steph Curry, and he's, scooched his butt out as far as possible. He could be sitting up on that folding chair.
Well, let's hear from you guys. All three of those, were they news or were they not? We just broke them down regardless. That's what you got to do.
We broke
on an
down
off day.
Kendrick Perkins sitting on a bench.
You got to during the off day, man. These are all stretched out. We got to take a break. When we come back, the bearded one, Trey Kirby, joins us live from Cleveland. Oh yeah, it looks good. Didn't he once do some mean mugging with Kendrick
Yeah,
Perkins?
that's right. Yeah, a
back
couple
in
of
the
years
day.
ago.
Come on back. Yes, there he is. It's the bearded one, Trey Kirby, joining us live from Cleveland. TK, what's up? Ayo.
Trey.
Oh,
TK,
can you hear us?
I
I can hear you.
Oh, he can hear us.
Hey, oh.
There we go. Live television at its finest. TK, how's it going, man? Cool. Awesome. Well,
All right, I'll be
ask you
Trey
this.
for
Wait,
this
no,
one.
I hear
Oh,
you. No, I hear you.
What-
We're back, baby!
I can't tell if you're kidding or not. Is this a bit you're doing?
No, I was playing that one straight, Skeets Bum.
Okay, great.
Here, let me hit you with an AO. AO!
Okay, Ayo. I think we were hearing the AOs, but you weren't hearing us. Anyway, Trey, we've been trying to convince ourselves for the last 2 or 3 days here about whether or not the Cavs can get back in this thing. Can they extend it? And can we have a series? What are the people in Cleveland, both the media and the fans there, saying? Is this thing going to end in a sweep, or what's everybody thinking here?
Well, the people that picked a sweep, they're sticking with a sweep, rightly so, but pretty much everybody else thinks that the Cavs will get at least one game here in Cleveland. They've won their last 8 home playoff games. The Warriors haven't swept anybody yet in the playoffs, so I think it's quite likely that the Cavs will win one of them. That being said, most of the people here think that the win for the Cavs will be in Game 4 after Golden State has gone up 3-0 and they kind of take the game off. I'm not so sure. The Cavs have been a lot better at home, so if they're going to win one of them in Cleveland, I really hope it's Game 3, so there's a little bit of intrigue coming into Game 4.
Yeah, for sure. I want to know, Lee did a great job out in Oakland. You're now in Cleveland. Did you keep the streak alive when it comes to talking to Swaggy P? What's going on with the camera with this guy? Can you tell someone there to stop moving the camera? It's driving me bonkers.
Well, I put in a request to talk to Swaggy P, but I got a response back from the Warriors. Sorry, not swaggy enough. I was shocked, but once that came through, I put in another request, and I talked to the next best thing, his partner in crime, JaVale Pierre McGee.
What's up, guys? I'm Trey Kirby from the Starters here with JaVale McGee from the Golden State Warriors. You went 6 for 6 during Game 2. Afterwards, you said, that's the most fun you've ever had playing basketball. What makes it so fun out there?
I mean, it's the biggest stage that you could ever play on. So, and be able to contribute and win and do well. I mean, it's just so much stuff that came into it that just made it just an amazing experience.
And getting to dunk everything in sight must have helped.
That too, don't forget that.
You and Nick Young played together, obviously, early in your career on some fun Wizards teams. You guys went your separate ways. Now you're back competing for a title in your 30s. Did you ever expect the two of you would somehow make your way back onto the same team to be able to challenge for a championship?
No, not at all. It's just a crazy process. It's a crazy, I guess, journey if you think about it. But I mean, sometimes I feel like everything's supposed to happen how it's supposed to happen, and it happened.
You guys think you'll ever bring back the Nick and JaVale show? I'd love to see the Cinnamon Challenge again.
Cinnamon challenge. He actually won the cinnamon challenge. That wasn't fun for me at all.
Yeah, it looked pretty brutal. Does it hurt as bad as people say?
Yeah, it's not fun at all, like whatsoever. You feel it for the whole day.
You were one of the first guys to make a name for yourself on Twitter. You were early to the hydration game with the Jug Life. You said on Twitter yourself you're the only guy to have a rat tail and an NBA championship. What is the next big trend that we should be looking for?
Fanny packs for sure. I was definitely one of the first guys in the NBA to consistently rock fanny packs. So if you see these guys wearing it across their chests and stuff, no, that's not how you wear fanny packs. I'm just letting everybody else know though.
Fanny pack goes around the waist for sure. I'm going to go head out and pick one up right now. JaVale's got a game to play. We'll both be styling on him. Thanks, man.
All right, well, it's great stuff, TK. Did you go and get a fanny pack? I thought you already had sort of a mini fanny pack, but you wear it around your shoulder or something.
Yeah, Skeets, I do have my tactical satchel here. Like you said, I wear mine across the body. JaVale would be against that, but like I said, this is more of a tactical satchel, not quite a fanny pack. This is what Indiana Jones would wear in 2018, I think.
Right. You looked like our cameraman Todd there. You had your chicken wing. You couldn't get it over your head there. Shout out to Todd. All right.
It's also good if you need an impromptu sling, that's for sure. Definitely helpful in that scenario.
Shout out to Todd. Anything else before we let you go tonight, TK?
Well, you guys know how Lee won't stop giving everybody, except for me, a nickname. So we've been arguing about whether Joe Ingles calls Donovan Mitchell Dono or Donnie or Mitch, some of the classic Lee Ellis-style nicknames. But I got the answer today. Before that, though, I'd like to see what you guys think he actually went with for Donovan Mitchell.
What do you think?
I'm going with Mitch.
Mitch?
Yeah.
Really? That's definitely first name for me. Dono.
You're going Dono. I'm going off the board. He's going Spidey. He's calling him Spidey.
Oh,
That's what I'm going.
Spidey.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I think the answer is going to surprise everyone in that case.
We've been wondering what one of them, Joe Ingles, calls you. We figure it's got to be either Dono, Donnie, or Mitch. Is it any of those?
I think it's Donnie. No.
Yeah, our Australian just adds a Y to everybody's name. Skeetsy, Tassie, whatever it is.
Like Donnie. Yeah.
Donnie. Works for me. Donnie Mitchell right here.
Wow. Yeah, it's the classic Australian move. Add a Y to the end. So simple.
Just add a Y and that'll do.
All right,
Pretty
TK.
simple. Must be a big Donnie Wahlberg fan.
That's exactly right. All right, TK, thanks so much. In the words of LeBron James, we'll be better tomorrow. All right? Trust me on that.
All right.
All right, buddy. When we come back, Lee talks burner accounts with the people in Oakland. This will be fun. Don't go anywhere.
The Starters is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey, official partner of the NBA.
Welcome back to The Starters. One of the biggest stories from last week was definitely the crazy Brian Colangelo Twitter scandal. So while Lee was out in Oakland, we had him go ask the people about their burner Twitter accounts, and things went off the rails very, very quickly. Eric Jr., roll the tape.
Hello, good sir. I can see you're on Twitter right now. Is that right?
Absolutely.
What is your Twitter handle?
Well, you know what? It's the King, Big Daddy, Part 4.
Lani, are you a big Twitter user?
No.
Not at all?
I'm on Snapchat. I post like Bible verses to motivate people.
Enjoying, having a great time, looking at all these wonderful people. Thank you. Anything else you want me to say? You're doing an outstanding job.
I haven't asked you anything yet. I am joined by...
Joy Medley, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry.
Wow, this is great. How did this all come together?
Well, we don't have a mascot here in Oakland, and I decided I wanted to do something to campaign for a mascot. So far they haven't noticed us.
I still remember 2 years ago, I was here at Game 7 when Kyrie hit that shot. I still haven't gotten any sleep over that shot. JR's little move there helped me recuperate. He doesn't do that. We might lose that game. We'd be in trouble.
From my own interpretation, Steve Kerr is becoming the Bruce Bochy of the Golden State Warriors. He's uniting everybody, not just here in Oakland, but San Francisco, San Jose, Santa Cruz, Santa Fe, North Bay, you name it.
Anywhere else?
Yes, anywhere else.
Everybody needs to enjoy life.
We all need to enjoy life.
Live, love, laugh, and have a good time. How you guys doing? Where you from? I like your accent.
Australia.
Australia, I like your accent.
Thank you.
Very well, very, very well. I like.
Yeah, thank you. I work on it every day.
Yes, very good. You know what the score is? My dog was barking when you were doing that. I think my dog knew what the score was. My dog was wondering what you were doing, JR.
Are you a big social media user?
I do, yes. My social media is Tonya Lewis Taylor. on Facebook, Instagram. I'm also a singer, songwriter, so.
Have you been on The Voice?
I haven't been on The Voice, no.
Can you give us a little demo right now?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
LeBron's a good player, but hey, man, we got the best team, LeBron. We got the best team. Go Warriors, huh? How about that?
Yeah, well, hey, that's it.
This is what Dub Nation's all about. Bay Area united for a reason.
Are you a big social media user?
Facebook.
Twitter?
Not so much.
Why not?
I don't have a Twitter account.
My favorite part of that.
What an off day. What an off day.
My favorite part of that by far was the woman with the 2 puppets, Lee. You went to each puppet with the mic.
She fooled me.
Did you
She
forget
fooled me.
for a
Yeah.
second that she would be talking for the puppets?
I didn't know what was going on there, so I just had to get the mic near those puppets, just in case.
All right, great work as always. I can't wait to see what TK gets out of the people of Cleveland. We got to take one more break, but when we come back, it's IT versus IT on a special segment on Jimmy Kimmel Live last night. A great burn from one of them. Don't go anywhere.
I have been looking forward to this episode of Open Court.
And I never said that about another basketball player in my life.
I just don't know how it can get better than this.
Don't miss Open Court tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBA TV.
All right, we got to show you this. Last night on Jimmy Kimmel Live, we had NBA great Isaiah Thomas versus Lakers guard Isaiah Thomas in a pop culture quiz. Now, the young IT, he was getting crushed. Things weren't going so well, so he decided to take a shot and roast his former team. Have a look.
Do you know the name of that alien?
God, I've watched that numerous times too. I'm like the Cavs. I'm gonna get swept.
Oh, a little too far?
Well, I guess he's not going to re-sign in Cleveland.
I guess not. All right, so there you go. This morning, it was Tuesday, believe it or not. It's tough to keep track of the days right now. But we discussed whether the Warriors are going to get swept or moves the Cavs could do. The Warriors are going to sweep the Cavs, I should say. If corn dogs are actually any good, that was a big debate. And once again, Lee correctly predicted the future.
In the preview show, Lee predicted the biggest fashion trend this season would be shorts.
The biggest fashion trend that's coming back in is shorts. I will say, though, that LeBron actually needs to work on his footwear for that.
That was the worst part.
Yeah.
Like, it looked a lot better the second time for both guys.
See, Draymond had nice footwear with his.
Both at the awards
yes.
and in game
You
one,
need a
in
low cut shoe.
I agree.
You can't
Gotta
have a
really
high
show
cut.
those legs.
Exactly, yeah.
Lee Stradamus, you've done it again.
Draymond must just have short suits in his closet.
got
He
a lot
only
of
had
them.
2 days to get ready and had a beautiful one ready.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, some puppets talk, some don't.
Brace the night, people.